Hi, thanks for being in a new video. This time I'm going to share with you what I liked most and least about the Galaxy S24 Plus in case you're considering buying it. So as always, let me tell you, don't buy the Galaxy S24 Plus without watching this video. Consider its launch price, which in Mexico has been $23,999. If you are very interested in this device, the Galaxy S24 Plus is what I would most recommend you to purchase. Which is going to be practically the same at a much lower price. But let's start with what I like the most. It has a very good distribution, so you can find it in online stores and also in physical stores, although that is an advantage that is also in the Galaxy S23 Plus. There is a very nice color palette available. In this case, yes, there is a difference from the last series, but also in S23 Plus you can find nice colors. There it depends on your taste. It has a feature called Adaptive Color Tone. This is not present in Galaxy S23 Plus, so it would be one of the plus points of this device. And it's going to allow us to have a white color on the screen very similar to the white color of the environment. So if you're in an environment with warm lighting, also the screen is going to have a warmer shade, and the same thing will happen when you're in a cooler shade. It has the standalone application sound feature, although this is also on the last generation. But it basically allows you to send the sound of some apps to a Bluetooth device while keeping the sound of other apps on the phone. The front camera is very good, although the same as last generation. But something we didn't see in the last generation and we do see in this new version is that the preview when taking backlit pictures with the rear camera now looks optimized. So it looks well balanced in terms of lights and shadows, although the result after taking the picture will be practically the same as last generation. It also allows you to take panoramic pictures with the ultra-wide camera, something that few devices allow, although the last generation also allowed it. Portraits with the 3x zoom camera are pretty good, but then again the last generation had it. This device is also capable of recording video in portrait format with a blur in the camera format, although the last generation also allowed it. And in this particular case it is capable of recording in the camera format to one of the portraits with the zoom 3x camera. This device is capable of recording in the format of the camera to one of the portraits with the camera, although the last generation also allowed it. This device is capable of recording in the camera format to some of the portraits with the camera, although the last generation also allowed it. This device is capable of recording in the format of the camera to one of the portraits with the camera, although the last generation also allowed it. This device is capable of recording in the format of the camera to one of the portraits with the camera, although the last generation also allowed it. This device is capable of recording in the camera format to one of the portrait. This device is capable of recording in the camera format to one of the portraits with the camera, although the last generation also allowed it. Although the last generation also allowed it. This device is capable of recording in the format of the camera to one of the portraits with the camera, although the last generation also allowed it. This device is capable of recording in the format of the camera to one of the portraits with the camera, although the last generation also allowed it. Although the last generation also allowed it. This device is capable of recording in the format of the camera to one of the portraits with the camera, although the last generation also allowed it. The Galaxy ecosystem is quite complete, although as always we will continue to insist that Samsung must bring to Mexico and other countries the Galaxy Books if it really wants to offer the Galaxy Books, if it really wants to offer the Galaxy Books. The Galaxy Books if it really wants to offer a complete ecosystem. Currently, although it is one of the best ecosystems, it falls short specifically in laptops. So it will allow you to export videos very fast, applications will open quickly, for games it will also work relatively well, and speaking of games, Samsung has several plugins that you can install to enhance your experience. But now let's move on to what I didn't like. While on the rear camera we saw that the preview was optimized, on the front camera it's not, so it still comes out burned in the background. The ultra-wide camera is not that it is a disaster, but it does not improve over the last generation, and that bothers me a lot. Also, this ultra-wide camera has no autofocus, the zoom is also no improvement over last generation, and that also bothers me. Night photography should be improved with an update, because for the moment it has not left me a good feeling. The fast camera goes up to that of the camera speed, while other Android devices we have seen that go up to that of the camera speed, then it falls short too. If you record on the camera at camera speed, you're not gonna be able to switch between the different lenses on the device, showing that again there's no evolution from last generation. In fact, interestingly, they removed the super slow motion from the camera speed. This is something that was available in the last generation and for some reason has disappeared here. The front camera doesn't record very well at night. Considering it's a high-end device, we can demand a lot more from it in this aspect. The fingerprint reader gives you a maximum of 4 registrations. Consider that most devices on the market allow you a maximum of 5 registrations, including several entry-level devices. The charger is sold separately. This is something we are getting used to, but it is still something that bothers, especially because sometimes it is a bit complicated to find original chargers. If you have a lot of applications open and you want to switch between them, you are likely to see white screens. This is something that Samsung has still not corrected through software updates. We will continue to wait for the moment when Samsung corrects it. For the most demanding gamers, the processor may fall slightly short, but overall, as I tell you, it's a device that looks too much like the Galaxy S23 Plus, So I would not recommend you to buy this edition, but rather the last generation to save a little more money and still have a very similar experience. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you know you can let me know, and I'll see you next time.